blue hair.
I do not have blue hair, I
It's like
promise.
so fun. Okay, it does look blue.
It does, and I don't know what it is. It's just the lighting. I have no idea why. In actual fact, I'm going darker by the day with LifeWave, but we'll just, keep on
Yes,
going.
I love
So
it. You have
Diane,
beautiful hair.
thank you. Diane Hunt, welcome to our call today. I'm so looking forward to getting to know what you know and to share that with all of our brand partners. So tell me a little bit about you. I know that you come from a traditional medical background. So kind of what was the moment or what was it that really made you open to something outside of conventional healthcare? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited to share this. This is so fun. So, I was a nurse for 20 years, lived in New York City. Fresh out of college, I traveled, as a travel nurse, and it was amazing for a while. And then in the year of 2000, when I was in New York City, they chose me to be a flu shot champion. And so that job, that goal was to go around to the entire hospital staff. So it's a New York hospital, right? New York Cornell Weill Presbyterian. It's very well known. A lot of people work there. And so I wore that badge with honor until I didn't. So I gave the flu shot. Oh, and even saying it, I know I cringe.
Okay, I'm going to not say anything.
But we're all on a journey, right? We're all on a journey. A lot of times we're not just born into this space of really knowing truth, right? It's what our parents put on us, what we're taught in school, in medical school, in nursing school. So I didn't really know back then to question everything like I do now. And so I took that role and I went around and I vaccinated with the flu shot a lot of people, including myself. And it was like the first time I ever got it. And I got so sick, like sick in bed for months. To the point where I felt like I was poisoned. And I said, I will never, ever do that to my body again. So it's been a journey, but it really started my journey there to, wow, what was in that? What made me so sick? And so, it was a journey of start looking deeper and, really maybe this isn't for everybody. There is no medication that's for everybody. And so it started my journey of holistic, natural healing there because I really had to get healthy and strong and help my body get healthy. And so that started with foods and everything else. And so at that space was where I really started getting into more of the holistic, natural health and healing.
So you were already headed in that direction because skepticism is quite normal in our industry of network marketing, especially for someone with your background training. And so I'm hearing you say that you really started to question it. But at what point then did this line up for you in terms of finding out about it? And what did you hear that caught your attention?
Well, good question. So I really, on that journey of, vaccines and knowing that literally this is not for everybody, not everybody can, and I choose medical freedom. That was really like my stance on this journey. And I knew there was going to be a time where I would have to choose my career or play the game that's chosen for the medical community if you want to keep your job. So, about 7 years ago, maybe a little bit more, I was introduced to another network marketing company, and I saw it as a vehicle to really bridge the gap to get me out of the nursing industry because I just did not feel aligned with another pill, another surgery on, that was the thinking of health. And so I really wanted to transition, but we counted on my salary. I have 3 kids, we lived in an affluent area. And so I had to find another way to really replace. So that's when I started my journey of network marketing. And though it was great, it was not like the vehicle we have with LifeWave. It was good, but
There's not much that compares.
there's nothing that compares. And like you can say it, but not until you're truly in it or have come from another company can you really see what we're part of. So yes. So
Very, very true.
we moved to the family. So I did that for a while. It did allow me to replace my income as a nurse. But that was like in my seventh year of working in that company, right? And so I have by far surpassed what I made with that company in less than 2 years with this company. So anybody that's wondering if you're in the right time, right, in the right company, yes, absolutely. And so we moved out here to Utah before COVID was even really a thing. And I got sick. My heart, my lungs suffered from the remains of the virus or whatever we want to call it. And unfortunately, I was trying, like I said, I thought I had all the healing modalities, but I didn't have this patch until a nurse reached out to me from Florida and asked if I was familiar with it. And I was like, no, but all the things I'm reading and seeing that it does, I want it. I want it for my family and for my parents and everything. So that was the start of it. And then I was in this space of, I don't know if you've ever had this in your journey of life, but where do I belong? What am I meant to do? Just this like gray, murky, like there wasn't clarity. I didn't have a vision. And so when I got my hands on this. And it wasn't until I went to a conference and sat in the room and I knew I was home with the people that I wanted to surround myself with.
Oh, that's beautiful to hear. So tell me, because this just leads perfect in the concept or in leadership. You're now at. Are you? What is your level? Are you
Senior presidential
senior?
director.
So is
Yep.
that the highest level in the company right now?
Well, they had to make
I
another
know
one
they've
because
made some more. We're waiting for
elite.
that. Yeah.
Yes. Now it's elite. So I'm not, I was, but now I'm not because they made elite. Yes.
Well, just the same, you made it to the highest level. What is one leadership principle that you live by? And maybe one is going to be hard, but that you live by that really allows you to believe that every builder needs to understand that so that they can grow. What is something that you think everyone really needs to get? And I think you've alluded to some of it, but tell us
Yeah.
what do you think is the key?
Well, I really believe that everybody needs to look at this as a journey. It's truly not overnight success, but it's a journey of becoming who you really were meant to be. And, so many people want success day one, year one, but this isn't year one for me. And so too many of us compare with other leaders, and too many of us like I just got off the phone call and with somebody, and you can just hear he's so positive, and now it's starting to dwindle because he's letting people get into his head. This
Mhm.
industry is not for the weak, for sure, but what it can do for your life. And so I believe leaders need vision. They need to work on themselves every single day, their mindset, whether it's a book, whether it's a little podcast, whether it's meditation and prayer, but every single day, because just like the health, right? The world is full of toxins. Well, the same is about our mind, right? You can't go out your
Yes.
door with somebody saying, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, you're doing that. Oh, that doesn't work. It's a placebo. So
Yeah.
yeah, we got to arm ourselves with, as leaders, the cleanest, strongest, healthiest body and the solid mindset that this is it. You're gonna win with this, because everybody I wouldn't say everybody, but people are winning. So why not you?
Exactly. So I'm curious, and you've just spoken to this. People often see success and they watch everyone else, and I think, well, it's easy for you. You had this, you had that kind of background. What was one major challenge in your journey of network marketing? Not just LifeWave necessarily, but what was one major challenge that you had to overcome to get your way to the top? And how did
Not
you work
having a
through it?
successful spouse in the beginning. So
Oh,
not having support. And at the time I stepped into this, I had pretty much a 2, a 4, and a 6-year old while working as a nurse, so a full-time job, and a husband that did not see the vision. He was a poo-poo, and yeah, just really knowing again the vision. Because was it when people say, well, I don't have time, I know all the excuses. I could have used everything as an excuse. I had it all. I
yes.
had the 3 kids, I had a busy life, I had a full-time job, I had a husband that didn't believe, right? But I just, in my, like, there was fire, like tap into that, even if it's a spark, make it fire in you that you will not give up, that your vision is clear, you know where you're going. And man, like stay steady to that because, like I said, there's going to be bumps and
Always.
hills and mountains, and you just don't want to look back and feel like you gave up too early. You gave up on your future. And so,
Well, and I think people have a tendency because this is just life and it goes up and down, like you say. And so some days it's hard, some days it's easy, but what it takes is just that, I don't know what, but tenacious type spirit
yes,
to just keep on
absolutely.
going, right? So very, very cool in that. How long did it take before your spouse came on board and what changed his mind or
I
his
had to have
mindset?
a really heart to heart sit down talk because I hired a life coach. I knew I if I was going to go where I wanted to go, I needed some help changing who I was, right? And so
Yes.
I wanted to spend $3,000 on a life coach, and my husband's like, "No, we need new furniture." Now, Melody, our furniture is fine. Could we have used new furniture? Yes, but that wasn't going to give me the future that I wanted. And so I told him, listen, you can support me and we can go climb to the top together. And when I get to the top, because I am getting to the top, we can celebrate. Or you could drag me or try to drag me every step that I go. And I'm telling you, I will have to make a decision when I'm at the top, and it's not going to be a good one. So I believe you have to be so clear. You have to just know that like nobody's stopping me. Are you born with that? You know, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that like I want to give that to some of my people that I want to win, but it's one of those things I truly feel you can. Maybe you can't be as tenacious and like have those hard conversations and know exactly where you're going right away. But what helps that is when you do start little by little, the path that you're visioning starts opening up for you. Because in the beginning it's all weeds and it's a lot of
Mhm.
sticks and it's not very clear because there's the husband that doesn't believe in you. There's the three kids. There's the person that says, oh, MLM, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. But when you keep breaking through those people and keep going and seeing yourself winning, even if it's like one enrollment, one rank advancement, like it's those little things that really keep us going step by step. So,
So I hear what I'm writing notes as you're talking,
yeah.
but what I'm hearing is you held your vision very, very solidly, but you held it with heart, is what I'm hearing. And so now today, why are you still building? What is the bigger mission? Because you could sit back and say, I'm making good money and call it a day and just keep floating. So what is the bigger mission that drives you beyond just the basics of business and income? What else kind of lights you up in that?
Yeah, look, I am a heart because I get so emotional. I always say like, man, I was given the crying gene, but I truly feel like it's
I
it's like
could join you in a heartbeat. I get it.
yes, it's like, man, what we have our hands on just keeps me every day when you hear these stories, you cannot deny we have a miracle in our hand. And so like yeah, just physically and financially, it's interesting because my husband was on board. No, he wasn't back in the day, but now his business failed. He had a traditional business. He had to go bankrupt. Now we're getting sued by for his company, a $2.4 million lawsuit, right? And so it's just, man, people, you don't know what life is going to throw at you. And so if you don't stay close to your dreams and your heart, like I just know that I am not playing average. I need better for our life, our family. We would have to sell this house we're in if I did not stay true to my dreams and my goals because of just even we got to prove our innocence, even though we'll probably win for sure, but it's still the lawyer fees and everything else on top of it. So you just never know what life is going to throw at you. But what you do know is again, gratitude for having something that can truly not only change people's lives, but bring families together again, travel together. I want this for my kids. Who knows, where they'll be, but they always have this if they want to make money, It's
Yeah. No,
I have
it's a
it.
beautiful thing.
It's an option. You can take it or
Yes,
leave it, but I don't know the
absolutely.
world we live in, where it's going. It's looking a little dim, to
Yeah,
say it
no, it
nicely.
just truly feels like the last frontier. Grab it
Yes.
and run.
Yes, for sure.
So at what point did this stop sort of being, at what point did this stop being something you did, and when did it start feeling more like a calling? Because that's what I'm hearing you. It's like it's almost more calling than career now and at this point.
Yeah, and that's such a great question because I just was playing this game with my husband about deep conversation. So we have these cards, and he asked like, "What was one was like, where did you feel the biggest accomplishment?" And he's like, "I think I know that answer." Last week, I had one of my best weeks last week, and I said, "You know what? No, actually, it was when I passed the NCLEX through, and that's my nursing exam here in the United States, right?
Okay.
And so,
Okay. I was just gonna ask, what is
yeah,
that?
yeah. And so, but let me just tell you, I battled with bulimia for 16 years. So through
Mm.
that, I had like an addiction and I just couldn't sit and study. And so, I just was like, that was my biggest accomplishment. But this is when you're in alignment and you're just heart centered and not in your head and addicted and living in force. When you're living in your heart and your power and your true state, it's just amazing. So that's where I feel like this is my calling, because I just truly feel so aligned with what we have our hands on and what the team, the people like you and like you just know, like the Beths, the Rachel, everybody. It's like, man, if I could just weave this blanket of the most beautiful souls, they really are all just showing up. And so, yeah,
They are. I just got goosebumps, goose chills all over. So yes, and they are. That's one of
yeah,
the things. I just got a comment from somebody last night going, it's just a beautiful thing when you set your intention and the people start coming and you don't even have to go
yeah.
looking. Like they just, it's a beautiful thing. So truly aligned. I think that would be the biggest thing for me. The biggest word would be alignment. But let me ask you this. And I know you're building a legacy, but you also have a legacy of impact in what we're doing. And I know you've helped tons and tons of people, I imagine by now. What's one transformational story that just gives you goosebump, gives you, sort of that yes?
Oh, there are so many when
That's
it
why there's
comes
so
to
many.
that.
Give me one top highlight if you
Well,
can.
I mean, for me, it's just really watching like the transformation of even successful people. I'll use Rachel Maurice, right? Like here, there's this anesthesiologist that was making great money, right? Never did network marketing. And really, again, in that murky waters, like not really sure where or what, thinking I'm going to go back to work. And then she gets this vehicle, and it's just it's just amazing to watch when somebody steps into their power, and truly it just starts unfolding. And now she's making like what she made as an anesthesiologist. And this weekend she's with her daughter at visiting her in college. Just the freedom it allows on every level and the impact she's had, it's just like, I mean, that's why when people put this industry down, especially this company, I mean, just me saying yes and you saying yes, the impact, the ripple effect it has, and people not only getting like, when I hear stories of like husbands and wives getting healthy again, how that impacts the family. These kids got their mom and dad back, the husband gets the wife back, the wife gets the husband back, who are in so much pain and like on 15 medications and numb and just checked out, right? So, yeah, I know that was a tough one to just answer with like,
I didn't think you could just get one, but I thought I'd try.
okay, so yeah,
And it's amazing because I say to everybody, it really affects heart, body, mind, and soul. And one of the biggest impacts I've seen is that between couples, that it
yeah,
truly, there's some, I don't know if it's central nervous system. It just seems to change things and make things possible again. It's a very interesting effect that we're
I mean,
having with people. It's a beautiful thing. So
it really is. And that's why I know there's divine intervention here. There's just, this isn't just about
yes.
like crystal tech. Like, I mean, my husband doesn't, not that he was an alcoholic, but he doesn't even really crave alcohol, like a drink, to take that edge off. So much calmer, like I mean, even just more connected to God than he's ever been. It's just, like you said, I just feel like, man, this is just so much.
It's just a full being experience.
Yes.
It's not even just the body, it's the full being. So I do have a curious question. Was there ever a moment that you thought you might want to quit or felt like quitting?
I have to
And
say, for
what
the
did you do to keep going?
Yeah, I have to say in the beginning, it was about a good solid 6 months of me just using the product and being one foot on the dock and one foot in the boat. A lot of doubt. Like, even
Yeah.
though within 24 hours I had a great result, the
Yeah,
mindset
because you're
again,
kind of a one patch wonder, aren't you? You had a really
yeah.
big result. Yeah.
But like my dad was 4 months, so I patched everybody at the same time, but I was the only one that had that like 24-hour. Everybody, like my husband, my dad, I was like, are you guys noticing anything? Nobody was noticing anything. And so I was like, is this real? So I get it. And so I definitely was like, I don't know. And then I was like, do I need to tune into these calls? I don't even have a team yet. I mean, I've enrolled a few people on the product, but no business builders. And I remember very clearly the day being like, Diane, if you want something with this, you have to be on the calls. It's like when you show up, they will come. Now, when they come, you show up, right? And so I shifted that point right there. And it was just like that and me committing to going to convention where I just was like, okay, I'm ready. And I have to say, one other thing I committed to, which I didn't in my other business or just really ever, every day setting my alarm for 5 o'clock and meditating on what I want, what that feels like, the leaders that I want, the motivated. I don't want to drag, I don't want to hold hands. Like, I want the leaders that see what we have and are driven and like when I started doing that, that's like when the Beth, the Rachel, like all of them started coming. And so I remember being
Oh,
with,
I love that, Diane. I love that.
yeah,
What a great exercise to move yourself forward because it's up to you.
it's a
If you're gonna do it, it's up to you. There's nothing
absolutely,
else you can say. That's a beautiful, beautiful exercise to do. I like that. Thank you.
yeah.
People often talk about strategy, but what inner work, and you just said the meditation, was there anything else that you had to do to hold that success level for yourself?
Just always checking in. I have a tagline
Mm.
called Vibe Higher. And, yeah, I could look at it as like, oh, silly words. Everybody's like vibe high these days, right? But I really mean it. Like, I am always checking in with, okay, where's my vibration right now? Is it living in like disappointment? Is it living in frustration? Because I know that those vibrations, it really is a magnet. We are a magnet for what
Yes.
vibration we're vibrating at. And so that awareness is so critical for who you will attract onto your team. Do you want the the people that live in joy and excitement and love on your team? Then you have to be that first, right? So because I don't want to attract the negative Nellies, the ones that
Yes.
just, yeah. So
Like
that's
you
another
want
thing.
to set your intention before you start doing the calling
Yes,
in and vibing. Yes. Very important, but I
absolutely.
love it. It's like show up first and then the rest follows. And I think that's the big thing. A lot of people wait in all of life. Many times I think people wait for things to show up when in fact you need to show up and claim it, call it, whatever you want to call it,
Yes.
do. But yeah, very, very, very true. For the person who's watching this that maybe feels scared to get started or scared to believe, what would you say to them heart to heart?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I mean, we all have it. We're human. But like I said, when you are scared, and this is one thing I've always practiced, through the later years in my success, if you want to become who you deserve to become, be scared, feel the fear. We're human, feel those emotions, but know that that is what you require to do to get to that next level. So if you feel the fear or you feel scared having that conversation, do it. I can't stress it enough. We had a call the other day. We moved here to Utah and we were talking about fear and scare feelings. And I'm telling you, I was like sweating, white knuckling, driving in Utah, these streets. I mean, I lived in New York City my whole life. I could do that with my eyes closed. Bring me to these mountains with these like so that was so scary for me. Sweating. I wouldn't allow my kids to talk to me. I had to concentrate because it was new, right? And a lot of times the scaredness and the fear, it's because it's something new. I'm telling you now, 6 years later, I'm like, la la la, music, I'm just driving like, and the same thing is about this business. So when you feel scared, when you feel the fear, do the whatever you're scared about, do it. And I'm telling you, the more you do it, use my analogy, remember me driving to Utah, it gets easier and easier. And that's how we become experts. And that's how, again, this is all about skills. We all feel the fear, we all feel scared. It's just, are you going to lean into it? Or are you going to step back and, yeah, not learn the skills that it requires taking?
Absolutely. Duplication, as we know, is kind of like the holy grail in network marketing. So what systems, and I know we have the system, the This Is It team, all of that, but within just for yourself, your team and how you're building, what systems or habits have you found that actually create duplication and not just chaos or lack of duplication?
Yeah. And you know what I love about this, Melody? It's all here. I don't have to write any system. I don't have to. The biggest thing I can say is do not humble yourself. Do not try to recreate something when we have something that is working perfectly. Okay. So, what I do is nobody's different. I don't care if you're a doctor, if you're, an anesthesiologist like Rachel, or if you're just somebody that's staying home raising children. Everybody gets This Is It info. Don't try to like create something new, create what we've been given and just, well, not even create, but use what we've been given,
Yeah.
plug people in because everything is duplicatable. And so we want them to do exactly what we taught them. And that's what's going to happen. So again, why I love this company so much is literally it's a copy paste, copy paste. It's the symbol. I mean, yes, it can get repetitive, but I love it because it's just always a new person. But it is so simple. Don't make it complicated.
I always think it's nice to be able to sit by a pool someplace in the South or somewhere in the Caribbean and still do my business because it's all put together. So yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
it's
I'm
like the
so with
system
you.
is there. Yeah.
And we're in 80
Yeah.
countries, so we can like have business write-offs. We can go to, my parents are in Switzerland right now. They wouldn't have been able to do that if they weren't on the patch for 2 years, but they're now like in the Swiss Alps. And I said,
Beautiful.
make sure you talk to some people over there. I want to go to Switzerland. I want to like have a team there for sure.
Isn't that the truth? It's like, where do I really want to travel? Let's start
Yes.
there.
Yes, absolutely.
Dan, how do you identify someone on your team who is truly ready for you to lead? Like, as in, they're ready to begin and start developing their own team. So, how do you decide who you're going to work with? And, how do you determine they're ready to go?
Yes, I know we hear this a lot in this industry, especially in our training, but the responders, the ones that you can tell when somebody, you tell them one thing and they do it, they read it, they look at the video, you can tell those responders. And maybe just from me being in the industry, I can, feel them out more. But definitely it's the ones that you give X, Y, and Z, plug in here, right? Follow step 1 through 3 and want you to put a post up. Let's do a launch. And they do it. They're not. And yes, I'll work with people that are still living in fear and a little scared, but it's those that just, I have a lot of responders as you start getting more to the top. And even in the beginning, you really want to be careful where you invest your time and energy. And you really want to set clear boundaries. You do not want to be managing people's back office for them. You do not want, again, everything will duplicate. And so that's not really something that will work. Trust me. So,
Very good point, because the good and the bad both
right. Yes,
replicate. So it's
absolutely.
very, very true. Yes.
So find the people that are excited, you can tell those that are excited, those that start talking to people, really working with those, because one thing I do know, I see it often, is we are so excited and sometimes we talk way too much. And so in the
Mm.
beginning, a new person, we don't want them to talk too much to people where, they're 20 minutes in and the person's like glazed over. So for sure,
So
harnessing that all.
if you could sort of encapsulate, what is maybe the top 3 to 5 things that you would say the builders consistently do, that create that success and the long-term growth they're looking for? Do you have a sort of an awareness of what are the things they do, those builders and leaders?
They show up, they respond. So they are somebody that is hungry. I always say, I don't know what's going on for you. I have a lot of people I'm working with. So please, I need to know, that you're the responder by reaching out to me. You want to go on this trip to the Bahamas. You want to hit that first rank of manager. You want to enroll your Aunt Susie. You want to do a post, right? So it's those that are responding. And then it's just me really working with them. Like when I enrolled, because they're your upline, like Beth and Rachel, like who doesn't want that in their business? I did a call with Beth. Beth brings Rachel on the same exact call. In one day, you get two powerhouses signing up on your team, right? And
Yeah.
so I kept them connected with a few other people, and we had a text thread. And that text thread just fueled everybody on that text thread, because Rachel would come in, she'd tell a testimony that her person's having, and then it was just one of those beautiful synchronicities. And so, yes, to get people that come in at the same time paired a lot of times, so that there is this beautiful, healthy competition and this
Mm.
excitement that they feed off of each other. And so, yeah, that's
Oh, it's a
another.
beautiful thing. I was gonna ask about sort of your team culture. I mean, I know we're part of your team, but
Yeah.
and I know we have the whole this is it, and then we have the champion makers, and so we have all this beautiful leadership to work with and follow. But I love that you sort of put little groups together and keep them all connected and flowing. That's a great thing to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
Last
absolutely.
tips, last question. Anything final that you'd love to say to everybody, and just kind of what is a final thought to share with everyone?
Yeah, have your visions and your goals everywhere. It was John Maxwell that also, I mean, yes, I was doing it already, but sitting and listening to him as well. He said for 30 days, visualize, what is it? Is it the number on the check that you want? Is it, the number on your Zoom call? Is it, the enrollment number for this week? Visualize it for 30 days. And if you miss one day, start over. So being so clear with where you're headed, or your vision, aware of your vibrational energy, just to sum it all up. Because I'm telling you, I'm not anything super at all. Like I said, I need my tissue box. I cry like that, everything. But what I do know is, yes, the grit, the tenacity, the fire in me for what I know we're part of and what I want for my life, for this community. Nothing's knocking me down. So,
Beautiful. And I have one more question now that
yeah.
you said that. I'd like to know, do you have 2 or 3 books that you would recommend?
Oh man, yeah. So the books that I love are, so my coach, he's really into David Hawkins. And so that's really where I have really created. So one was Power versus Force. And again, they're not necessarily business, but again, I'm really like about living in your power versus your force. And people could feel that differently when you're forcing your success, right? That's a different energy than when you're living in your power. People are more attracted to you than repelled by your force. So I do love power versus force is one. The other one is the consciousness. I can text it to you so you have it. It's a David
Okay,
Hawkins
that'd be
consciousness
lovely.
one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Any
then,
others?
I mean, it's a simple one, but go for now. Like, go for now. Be excited about now. I know it's such an old book, but I just feel like we put this big thing around people saying no to us. Like, man, we are always selling. We're selling our kids. We're selling our husband. We're selling. I mean, my kids don't say yes to everything. My husband doesn't say yes to everything. So why would I get offended if somebody says no? I mean, yeah,
Isn't that the truth?
yeah.
I went on a cruise with that couple when they were writing that book
Oh, really? Oh, that's so fun. And then my last
on an
tip.
MLM cruise.
Oh, amazing. So yeah, I would love to interview you because I want to hear about your journey too.
That
But
would be fun. We should do that.
you should. I definitely want to hear. But my last tip would be recognize how offended you are. If you're somebody that's really sensitive and offendable,
Mhm.
work on that. You know, I really believe we all deserve coaches and mentors. And so if you're somebody that gets offended really easy, you can work on that. Like get to the root of why that is, you know, because you don't want to get offended in this business for sure. You want to have,
Very true.
yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Diane, thank you so much.
Yes,
I'm so looking forward to sending this out to the team and I'll send you once it's posted as well. So you have
awesome.
it. But what a beautiful time together. Thank you. It's just so fun
I
to
know.
hear the different insights and what's gotten you through and holding the vision and all of those things. It's beautiful. So thank you for all the insights and the tips and the leadership. And we appreciate you
Yes.
every time we're on one of your calls. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, we're all real. So it's all just, you know, life and we're all in it together. So to you, Melody, to any of the teammates, you know, if you're going through something and you just need an ear to listen or a heart to talk to, I'm here for sure.
Oh, thank you so much, Diane. I've so enjoyed this and I've enjoyed getting to know you more and I am looking forward for real at enjoying some of the beaches around the world with you one
Me
day.
too,
So
lady. Me too. Absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you
I think
again
we'll be
for
good.
doing this.
All
This was
right.
beautiful. And I love that blue hair.
Thank you.
Okay.
I know. I don't know what it is about this, but here we are. Honestly, everybody keeps saying you're getting so dark, and I'm going, I cannot figure out why I look blue on the videos, but here I am.
Yeah, no, it is so
So
pretty. Okay. Bye,
it's the fun
everybody.
thing. All right. Take care. Bye
Bye.
for now. Bye.